Angola approaches 50 years of independence as a leading global producer of oil and minerals. Yet this wealth hasn't translated into basic public infrastructure. 40% of the population is illiterate, and millions lack clean water or sewage systems. These failures are often framed as the result of typical corruption or a simple lack of administrative experience. But journalist Amelia Aguiar argues that standard political analysis misidentifies the situation. She views the current crisis as a direct outcome of how the nation is categorized by the international community. Her argument is that Angola does not operate as a republic. It functions as a party state, a system where the ruling MPLA and the national government are a single, fused entity. Policy choices that appear to be oversights or accidents are actually consistent with the internal logic of a government designed to sustain the party. In a republic, state institutions operate independently, directing resources outward to the general public. In a party state, this mechanism is inverted. Every institution, from the courts to the police, is rewired to protect the central node of the ruling party. This fusion was established at independence when the MPLA claimed a total monopoly over the military and administrative machinery of the territory. This monopoly effectively replaced merit-based administration with a system built on partisan loyalty. President João Lourenço codified this recently, declaring that the country's top administrative and economic positions belong exclusively to members of the MPLA. This creates a governing structure that functions more like a closed cartel, where the state's vast resources are used primarily to reward party members. Under this design, the government's purpose is not to provide for the public, but to ensure the party maintains its absolute control over the country. This focus on party maintenance dictates how national wealth is spent. In a functional social contract, tax revenue and resource exports are expected to fund the public good. Instead, Aguiar notes that the state allocates millions to vanity projects, like medals for political elites, while the children living in the capital slums lack clean drinking water. To sustain this imbalance, the party state requires a legal system that ignores elite misconduct. Consider the $500 million spent on maritime vessels that were never delivered. In a republic, this would trigger an immediate audit. Here, the money simply vanished into a legal void. This pattern of impunity was solidified under preceding leaders and has become a structural feature of how the country is managed. The Angolan economy prioritizes the massive concentration of wealth for the party elite, leaving public sectors systematically underfunded. Aguiar observes that the party state is not undermined by underdevelopment, it is empowered by it. High rates of poverty and illiteracy force the population to focus strictly on daily survival. This lack of educational and economic resources acts as a barrier to organized political dissent. This rot prevents the country from utilizing major assets. Infrastructure like the Lobido corridor remains stalled because the system is not built to foster broad national development. New elections or foreign investment cannot fix a system mechanically built to behave this way. The evidence suggests that progress requires a total separation of the MPLA from the state machinery, a process Aguiar describes as the departidarization of the national territory. Angola's resources represent a capacity for development that remains locked. True national growth only becomes possible once the party state is dismantled and a republic is built.